Hey, June is National Dairy Month, and so I want to show you kind of what you're going to want to look for in a good doe. This is Glitter. Now, Glitter's an alpine. She's built almost perfectly. She's got a nice flat back. She stands well over both her legs. She's got good conformation in her back end. What you're really looking for in the back end of a goat is you want a steep angle from here to here. She's slightly posty. We like a little bit more flex. So we would like a little bit more of this angle. So the steeper this angle, the better they're conformed, to a point, of course. And then we're also looking for udder attachment. So we want that udder attachment to be good and solid and to have equal distribution on both sides. So in the udder, we're really looking for a nice balanced udder first, and then we're looking for capacity. Don't forget there are goats out there that can literally milk 3 gallons a day. I don't want that high level of a producer because I like a little smaller udder, and so I look for these goats that are good gallon and a half producers that are built well, that'll make good babies, can carry babies well, have the depth of chest in the lungs and the lung capacity to be able to do everything. Again, you want a goat that's just built right. Now, I'm going to give you an example of a goat that is more of a problem by her build and by her weight gain. And so we're going to go look at Girlfriend next. So this is Girlfriend, and Girlfriend is an example of a goat that carries too much body mass. She's fat. She's exomorphic. And so as a result of that, come here, Girlfriend. As a result of that, honestly, she doesn't have a great udder either. She thinks I'm going to doctor her, but the reality is she's actually got a good hand milking udder. But come over here, Shea, so we can see that. So you see how her bag hangs? So I don't really like that kind of big sloppy bag like that. And she's a really good producer, but I like more of a little bit more of a tighter udder. Now, this is a 7 or 8 year old doe, and they'll have a tendency to have that big udder. It's less about her udder that I don't like and more about how she's so heavy, because she has a hard time having babies. She goes into a thing called pregnancy toxemia and hypocalcemia, and she just has problems because she's on the fatter end. I really like goats that are built more like this, that she has a perfect build, good depth for having babies, nice small compact udder, but still produces 1 gallon a day, really stands well over herself, her udder hangs right. This is more what I'm looking for than Girlfriend. And when you have those does that have a tendency to be really fat, they're more problematic in birthing as well. So one last one I want to show you is a really adult doe and kind of how the udder develops over time. So we're going to go ahead and look at Harry. Harry's a good choice. And Harry has a bad udder too. So Harry has what we call too big a flare. So you see, this is a perfect example. See these nice downright teats, big sausage, get your hand around it, you can really grab onto it and squeeze the milk out of it, versus Harry's that are off at an angle on each side. So this one over here, when you're trying to milk her, what happens is you're trying to direct those teats down in and it's spraying out the side of your hands, and lots of times it comes against the back of your hand. And I never want milking to be touching my skin, of course. So when I'm milking her udder, she's much more difficult to direct that milk back into the bucket than this goat over here. So remember, all udders aren't created equal. Some hold more milk, some are easier to milk, some are positioned properly, and there's tons of protocol in the actual udder itself. But here for the homesteaders, rather than making it all complicated, I just would tell you, if you're trying to have a hand milker, you know, an udder that's like this without much flare is what you're looking for. And if you want a machine milker, it's going to be Glitter there. So this doe, just to give you an idea of her build, she weighs in the 180s. She's just a big giant moose. And Harry is very, very kind. Hi, Harry. How are you? So she does a super good job. And again, she's a big doe, so she eats a lot, produces a lot of milk, and she's got a nice big full udder, but it doesn't have to hang down to the ground to be effective at what it's doing. You should know, by the way, I bought Harry from a show goat person, and her udder did not make the cut to even be in her breeding program. But for my purposes, I wanted her size, I wanted her conformation, and I thought I could complement her udder, and I have been successful at that in getting it to better shape in our breeding if we're getting does off of her. So there's a lot to a goat, there's a lot to an udder, and just remember that you have a baby making and a milk making machine here. The better her body is built to support that huge output in making 3 babies and then going into full-blown production, that is a huge, difficult thing on a goat, especially to be milked by us. So they have to be healthy, they have to be nutrient well, and they need to be built right to be able to do their job. So things to think about. I hope you find that helpful. This is, again, Dairy Month. I help people with raising goats and learning how to run a milking operation, what to look for, how to build your herd, how to run your program, how to make money at it. If you find any of this helpful, my name's Marc Warnke. You can find me at PackGoats.com, and that's where I am. You can get all the courses in the Goat Club, and leave a comment, tell us what you do in your dairy operation. Tell us how you need help. What questions do you have? I'm glad to help you. I just need to know what you need. So I hope you find that helpful. Marc Warnke, the Goat Guy, signing out.